we will start the program. Thank you all for joining on this very important workshop. I think AI for clinics. See, the last 2-3 years, we have seen the way AI has really transformed every field, and I think it's transforming our healthcare industry also. So we need to keep pace with the way it is evolving. That is very important. And every time I do tell, AI is not going to replace us, but doctors with AI knowledge will definitely replace us. So we have conducted a workshop. We have conducted one CMA session on behalf of IMA some 3-4 months back. I think Dr. Ashraf-Ali was there from Tiruvarur. So this is an important workshop. This is for the beginners. This is not for the pros who are already using AI extensively. This is basically for the beginners. And from here, I think we will take it for the pros. And I thank the effort is by Dr. Sunil Srinivasan sir. He was the one who was very much interested in doing this for our IMA members. So with this, let's start the session. To start with, I invite Dr. Shanti, President, Indian Medical Association, Tiruchirappalli, to give the welcome address. And from there, we'll go to the session. Over to you, Dr. Shanti, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Arun. Good evening, distinguished speakers, senior members of Indian Medical Association, dear colleagues and friends. On behalf of IMA Tiruchirappalli branch, it gives me immense pleasure to warmly welcome you all to this very special session on AI in clinics, the basics. Today, we stand at the exciting crossroads of medicine and technology. Artificial intelligence, which was once thought of as futuristic, is now becoming an integral part of clinical practice, research, and patient care. As clinicians, it is vital for us not only to understand the concepts, but also to explore the possibilities, challenges, and ethical aspects that come along with it. We are truly privileged to have with us an eminent panel of speakers who will guide us through this journey. The program promises to be both enriching and thought-provoking, with highlights ranging from practical applications to oncology research, and an open discussion on challenges and drawbacks. I'm sure the interactive QA session will further enhance our learning. On behalf of IMA Trichy, I extend a very warm welcome. I once again welcome you all to this session and look forward to an engaging evening of knowledge and discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shanti, for your insights. So we'll directly jump into the session, I think, because it's 1 hour. Sunil sir has specifically said we should not exceed the limits. So we'll stick to the time. So next will be by Dr. Naraimati. She is Director, Evidentia Research Solution. She has extensive experience, not only in research, but also she has been using AI day in and day out. So she will be telling us the basics of AI, and she will be telling us the concepts. So over to you, Dr. Naraimati.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Arun, and thank you, Dr. Shanti, for giving me this opportunity. So today we will take a journey through the basics of AI. We will start with a basic intro, then see how AI works, what models it uses, and how it is applied in healthcare. We'll also touch on where AI gets into data from and the tools available and why AI is so relevant right now. So what is AI? AI is basically a computer system that is designed to think and learn like a human. It uses algorithms. Algorithms are nothing but it's just a step-by-step instructions to solve the problems or to make any decision, whatever we are giving to the AI. We can think of it like a digital brain. It can process information, learn from it, and respond intelligently. This is why we say that AI mimics the human cognitive outputs like reasoning, predicting, and learning. So how does AI work and what is the mechanism behind? We need to really understand, though we are all not a very technical person behind what is happening behind the AI, but we really need to understand why it is so. So only we will be able to take it forward to the next step. So what is the mechanism behind? Surely we can tell that AI isn't static. It learns and it evolves as it gets more information. So as the content given is more specific, it gives us more specific and accurate responses. So it can spot the problem before they happen or react intelligently when new issues come up. So we need not wait or think over from using our brains. If we give input the information to it, it is able to learn and adapt to the data that is available with it. So that is very, very important. And it is intentional and it is very, very adaptive, and we can handle the AI can handle complex tasks automatically. So whatever we give, it will not take time or it will not think over. It takes time to think over, but it doesn't hesitate whether this is right or wrong. It is ready to give the information to us. So what is the real strength? AI is amazing at recognizing patterns, even in huge and messy data sets. I think all of us, whoever has used it, can just feel what I'm telling. So it can really recognize a pattern. If we tell, no, I don't want so many highs and lows jumping like this, I need this trend, it will just sync with our understanding and put our criteria in place and give the relationship and pattern in the way the person who's dealing with it is asking for. And can you think of any app or tool you have been using, which has given you thoughts like that, or which has given automatic information like this so far? Can any one of you all open up and tell, have you used any AI so far other than the Chat GPT? Not the new coming ones, the previous to Chat GPT, anything that you can think of? No? Okay. So some AI is already part of our daily life, sometimes without us noticing. AI is always existing with us even before the Chat GPT. Have you all heard about Alexa? I think most of us have used Alexa. And those who have used iPhones, I think they have the experience of the Siri. Google Voice Assistant, we know. And the Google Map, I think we are using it for years together. We do not know whether Google Map is following us or we are following the Google Map. It is able to show where the traffic is. It's able to show if the climate is changing, if it is becoming dark, the structure changes black, and we are able to see our car moving. So it is so accurate. And I think YouTube is amazing. If you just click on something, it shows the recommendations. If you want to see a surgery video, it shows the recommendations there and tells us that these are the recommended videos for you. And the Google search, we often envy what we do not know what is happening. We would have spoken something, and now our social media posts really tells us that there is it takes up our voice or the behavior, and it tells what we really need. Maybe our Insta postings, if we are searching for something and we have spoken something at home, immediately you are able to see the posts that are coming up. So all these things are part of AI. So these tools learn from our own behavior and improve over time. So even before ChatGPT, AI was quietly helping us to make decisions, find information, and also save time. So how does AI work? Does it have any model? Though you people might think we are all health professionals, why do we need to understand what is the technology behind? But when we come to a generalized term, when we speak in some meetings, they tell, hey, we are using generative AI. We do not know how to attribute, is Perplexity generative AI or is ChatGPT? So I just wanted to give just a hearsay of these terms. So, and I'm going to colloquially tell what these real terms are meaning. So one is machine learning. I think all of us have heard this. What is machine learning? So machine learning is it learns a pattern from the data to make predictions, like predicting who might get sick. So who might get sick is with the data that is available, what will happen? We will just see how maybe you have to go through each and every data. But if you're going to input the data into it, so if you are having the EMR data, if the machine learning is available with you, if you're able to put the EMR data, it is able to predict or learn the pattern from the data and give you the prediction. So that is called machine learning. Next is the natural language processing. That is the NLP model. It is nothing but it helps the computers understand and respond to the human language. So that is nothing but the chatbots. And next comes the deep learning model. That is, it uses the neural networks inspired by the human brain. So to handle images, speech, and complex data. Then comes the reinforcement learning. I think this is very, very important. You all know with the trial and error only, like a child, we need to teach it with the feedback and it recognizes what kind of information we need. Sometimes we customize the information. If you would have worked with ChatGPT, you would know that there is always a thumbs up and a thumbs down and recommendation. So when you give a thumbs up, it's more like giving rewards to it. If you give a thumbs down, it is like punishing it and telling what more. It immediately asks, sorry, I'm sorry about it. Can you give me more inputs so that I can reinforce myself, learn and give more information? So that is reinforcement learning. And next comes the generative AI. Generative AI is something like it creates new content by itself. It can be an image, it can be a PPT, it can be a text, music, or video. I think many of y'all would have started using the Gamma AI. You just give the content to it, it immediately generates a PPT for you. And for example, if you have something like the text, or if you tell that I need an Indian image with a sari and with a dhoti, it immediately develops and gives the images. So that is generative AI. And I think a lot of us are now hearing about the large language model. This large language model is something that understands the context and generates the text like the ChatGPT. So it understands, it is more like generative AI. It takes the deep learning model, it takes the natural language processing, and it collectively gives us the output. So gives us the text and it uses the reasoning, predicting, and it analyzes what we can do. So all the AIs, what they do is they mix all these techniques to analyze, predict, or even create what we need. Okay, then why AI? Have you ever wondered, have all of y'all used Netflix sitting at home when you're relaxed? We have something called as Netflix. Have you all ever wondered how Netflix seems to know exactly what show you would like the next? So it has predicted what kind, okay, these people like only science fiction stories, or they like very literature kind or spiritual. So based on that, it is able to give us what we really need. And so it's recommending, like our YouTube videos also. And an amazing thing that always I envy is the email filters. It filters out the spam before even you see it. It tells that, oh, this is not required for you. It is just what we need. It is not, it is out of your, it is a promotional video. It can go out. So you have, it is automatically predicting and filtering the emails. So that's AI in action. It's fast, smart, learns from patterns in data. So faster is AI can scan millions of records, images, or signals in seconds. For example, I've just seen a few, for this I thought I have to just go through a few examples. So it is just showing the radiology scans. So AI can flag abnormal areas faster than the human eye. By the time we see the report, it immediately tells, here, these are the spots where you need to really work on. And it is smarter. That is, it spots the subtle patterns that we may often miss out. So any pattern that we need, so it detecting early signs of the disease, maybe we can just skip off a few things, but the AI just looks into every point, every word, every letter of it. And coming to the helper, it automates boring and repetitive tasks. Really, I think some things are really boring. See, yesterday, for example, we had a list of emails that came to us. There was around 8,900 emails that came to us, but there was a lot of suffix, prefix, and it had the mail ID. So we just gave it to the AI and we told, can you just go through it and remove the suffix and the prefix and just give the name of the doctor, only the names, identify only the names. We do not need whether it is a student. You don't believe, it was a very big task. It was boring because 8,900, imagine, we have to go step by step. So it is a very good helper. It just automates all these boring and repetitive tasks. And one more thing, scheduling the appointment, sending reminders, all these things, the AI related apps are doing this really very, very well. And coming to personalize, that is, AI adapts to personalized needs or individual needs. For example, the personalized health tips or fitness apps. For example, yesterday I went into one app called Fitify. So I have joint pain and other things. So it was asking me questions like, how far can you lift your shoulder? Can you move your leg 1 feet or more than 1 feet? So I was just responding to everything. So it designed a beautiful exercise for me without me raising my shoulders high or moving my legs apart, far apart. So it is able to go and give us some personalized outputs. And innovative, I think we need not tell about that. It opens the doors for any new discoveries, any new information or ideas that you put in. It gives us ideas and it browses through and it tells out, hey, no, you are new, you are old. You can take up this research. You need not take up, this has been conducted by so and so. So it gives us innovative ideas. So I think that's the best of all what AI can do. And think of one task in your daily work or your personal life that AI could make easier or faster, what it would be. Can any one of y'all tell which AI that you have used and it has really made a change or you have liked it? Anything like whatever I said, like Fitify, like the email, anything? Any responses?
I think the recent one which I enjoyed, I thought is a game changer, is a Formaster. That Google,
Great.
instead of the app forms, it was really good. Within seconds, we are able to build the forms for people to
wonderful.
fill. That was Formaster is something which I was so thrilled to have that. That is
Okay.
1 week before. And the Comet, which Perplexity recently browser, that is something amazed me actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, these two were great.
Super. Thank you, Dr. Arun. So we are now able to bring in a lot of real world evidence into the use of AI. So AI isn't just a buzzword now. It's a powerful assistant that helps us to work smarter and not harder. And why AI now? It has been there throughout. We have been using for all these petty small things. The explosion of data and cloud computing is more like a supercomputer. It is working like a supercomputer. You need not have too many computers. You can integrate the AI built-in apps into your own systems. What we can use. And now people are become very, very familiar. People are more comfortable with digital assistants and the smarter tool, which can be used with all your smartphone devices itself. So which model do you think the ChatGPT, Gemini use? This is just to give an orientation about the different models with the AI tool uses. And how does AI gives us personal touch? It collects the data from the social media, from the apps, from the websites, and from all around us. And it gets the user consented information also, and it trains the AI models for predictions and recommendations. So this is how it gives a personal touch to us. So it understands how we are working with the system. Then it takes the user consented information and then it gives the models for prediction and recommendation. And AI in healthcare, I think Dr. Sunil is also going to take more detail on this, but it uses the algorithms to analyze the medical data and it supports the clinical decision making. It predicts the patient outcome and risk. it automates repetitive healthcare tasks, and it also enhances the personalized patient care. So I think all these things, I just wanted to run through the AI tools which are commonly used by many of the healthcare professionals. And what's new in healthcare AI? I've seen a few researchers and other things that is going on. It is assessing the ambulance needs with AI, detecting the early signs of the diseases. Chatbots are guiding in clinical decisions, AI-powered breast cancer detection, and AI detecting the brain scans. So there are a lot of things that are coming into the AI. So thank you so much for patient listening. We will have questions at the end. Now over to Dr. Arun.
Thank you, Dr. Naren. Actually, two words whenever AI comes to my mind that strikes us. One is the way it adapts to you, and okay, that is phenomenal. It adapts to us. Every time you log in, you see something new. Same question tomorrow you ask the AI, there will be a different answer. That's how it adapts. It learns you about you. It learns where you are and what you are, and it gives the answer such a way that it is different every time. That's how it adapts. And next is the innovation. It definitely we can innovate day in, day out. Our clinical practice with AI integrated, definitely we can have some innovation so that it can improve the patient workflow, improve the patient outcome, and improve the patient satisfaction. So these two things, innovation and adaptation, is something very much unique to AI, and I think we should be using it. Thank you, Dr. Naremati. We'll go to the next session. That will be by Dr. Sunil Srinivasan sir. He will be speaking on AI for clinicians. So next two talks will be on how clinician can use. So by a pediatrician perspective, and we'll give an oncologist perspective also. So this will be by Dr. Sunil Srinivasan, how he uses AI and how AI can be used by clinicians. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I thank Dr. Shanti, Dr. Arun for giving me this opportunity, and all my co-speakers for all their encouragement and support. 20 years ago, I employed my receptionist. She was 12th pass, hardly knew any English, no knowledge of medicine. It took me 10 years of training. After 10 years, she became very good at doing 20 things. She could read my prescriptions. She could load all the injections, decoded all the immunization charts, counseled parents. It took me 10 years. She works for me 8 hours a day. I have to give her roughly 2 months leave a year, bonus, a salary of 20,000. And it takes 10 years to get a reliable personal assistant, RPA. Now with AI, just with 1 day of training, it can do 20,000 things, 20,000. It has the entire knowledge of the world. It works 24 hours, doesn't demand leave, doesn't demand bonus, work for my entire family. So to give an idea, artificial intelligence is your reliable personal assistant. So when you can have such a great personal assistant for just 2,000 a month, why not AI? So instead of telling how AI works, as Dr. Niraimati has so eloquently spoken about, I'm going to talk how I use AI in my clinic. So first thing is digital prescription. I have spent lots of money buying so many softwares, but with AI, you don't need any pediatric software. This is what is called digital prescription. I can take my phone, I can dictate. I just dictate syrup amoxicillin 5 ml 3 times a day, syrup Livolin, Fevago. You see, I'm not adding any generic name. Just I talk over my phone. It records, it converts speech to text. I send it to my receptionist. She pastes this message directly pasted on the Chat-GPT. The moment it does this, we tell Chat-GPT, can you make this into a prescription? And see how lovely prescription it makes. Within 5 seconds, it has not only given a lovely tabular column, it has given the generic name. I never gave the generic name. It tells ribosalbutamol, paracetamol, how much to take, what is the strength. Such a lovely prescription in a matter of 5 seconds. So, if not for anything, at least for prescription generation, all of you can use or any chat GPT or AI. The next is treatment. For example, I get a lot of children with pediculosis, and it's a very sort of complex treatment, confusing treatment. You have to tell so many things. And I used to write, but not many of my patients can follow English. So you ask AI to translate this in Tamil. Within seconds, it will translate. No, Google this Tamil is more like Sri Lankan Tamil, but that's the way it is. But at least patients can understand. It's not pure Tamil, but it gives the patients a very good idea how you can translate your instructions. What about vaccination? The reason I put up the slide was we think that only vaccination for children only. It is not so. Adults need vaccination. So when you're free in your clinic, one day you can ask your AI, I am 50 years old and what shots do I need? Within 2 seconds, it'll tell you you need annual influenza, you need Tdap, you need a recombinant zoster vaccine, so on, within seconds. So not only that, if you see all this blue underlined thing, CDC tells what guidelines it is supporting. What about diet advice? So let us say I have a patient who's 40 years old, type 2 diabetes, and his weight is this much, height. He tells me, doctor, I don't want to take medicine. Give me a diet chart so that I can control my diabetes without any medicine. So you put this to AI, it gives such a lovely profile. Age is this much, BMI is this much, what is your goal? What are the nutritional targets? It also gives you a very great sample type. 6:30 என்ன சாப்பிடணும், 7 o'clock what you should take. Wonderful. ரொம்ப போர் அடிக்குதா, what is the alternate? Breakfast வேற என்ன வச்சுக்கலாம், dinner, all the so many details. ரெண்டாவது diet மட்டும் கிடையாது. What about physical activity? How do you monitor, follow up? Wonderful. Just type it, it will give you all these wonderful details. What about diagnosis? Suppose I see a patient who's 3 years old, comes with pedicule lesions all over. I know basically, having experience, that it is only idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, ITP, but still I want to check. So what I tell you is, AI, please give me 3 most likely diagnoses. It comes up with all these 3. ITP, it may be leukemia, maybe Hinox-Schönlein purpura. The first line of the slide is very important. Note it. Thought for 4 seconds. 4 seconds, it gives me 3 diagnoses. It can give me even 10 diagnoses if you want. After that, what I do? I ask, now MD படிச்சு பல வருஷங்கள் ஆறுது. So I will ask you, what is the current line? ITP இருக்கு, what is that? ITP guidelines keep on changing every 2 years. So I ask the AI, please tell me what is the current line of management. It tells us initial management, watchful waiting. அதுக்கப்புறம் first line என்ன பண்ணணும், second line, all this so wonderful. Monitoring என்ன பண்ணணும், what do you do? So all these things, key take home message. Now this patient, it came with a platelet count of 60,000, a very stable patient, didn't have any other issue, but they had come from a long place. They come from past Dindikal. So they were quite scared. So what I did was admitted the patient. Now only treatment is just observation. I didn't give any medicine. The patient became all right. 2 days kapram, we repeated platelet count, which was raising. So we sent the patient. Adu mudinju pochu. Now I have to compile a discharge summary. So what I did was took my phone, kept on, don't bother reading about it. Just phone la pesra madri, Harish 3 years old, place Kariyambatti, rash all over the body. The punctuation kadayadu, no grammar, nothing. Just kept on talking on and on for about 2 minutes. Ella pesiyach. I sent it to my receptionist. She put it on Chat GPT, told her, please make a discharge summary. Udane, within முதல் line படிங்க. Thought of a couple of seconds, 2 seconds, it gives me such a wonderful discharge summary. Patient பேரு, diagnosis, present illness, what was the condition. நான் இதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணுமே சொல்ல, அதுவே எல்லாம் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா என்ன மெடிகேஷன் கொடுக்கணும், what should happen. Such a beautiful thing. Follow up visit எப்ப செய்யணும். So in a matter of 2 seconds, you get a perfect discharge summary. நீங்க பேசினா போறோம். So இந்த app உங்க எல்லார் போன்லயும் இருக்குது. So you have the speech to text phone. All you need to do is switch on the app, talk about it, export it, forward it to your staff nurse. She will put in the GPT and prepare all this if you can't do it. So finally, with AI, you can they put lovely chatbots. Chatbot na enna appadina, you talk something, the parents have some doubts, they can converse with the chatbot and get more information. For example, this is a infant fever chatbot which I have created using AI. So in the right-hand top corner, start the chat. So if you press the start the chat, அது இந்த கேள்வி கேட்கும். குழந்தைக்கு எத்தனை நாளா ஜுரம் இருக்கு? Less than 24 hours, 1 to 3 days, more than 3 days. நீங்க 1 to 24 hours அமுத்துங்க. Thermometer வச்சிருக்கீங்களா? It looks so odd and I know very primitive, but most parents have no idea what fever is. So கேட்கும், thermometer இருக்கா? ஆமாம். இருக்குன்னா temperature measure பண்ணீங்கன்னா yes. Temperature 100க்கு மேல இருக்கா? Yes. உங்க குழந்தைக்கு என்ன வயசு ஆகுது? Suppose my baby is 5 months old. 3 to 6 months, I press that button. உடனே கேட்கும், breathing difficulty ஏதா இருக்கா? இல்லை. Other symptoms, ரொம்ப விடாத அடர்தா, இருமல் இருக்கா, லூஸ் மோஷன், எல்லா கேள்வியும் கேட்கும். இல்லை. குழந்தை பால்லாம் குடிக்குதா? நல்லா குடிக்குது. வேற ஏதாவது ஃபேமிலி மெம்பருக்கு ஃபீவர் இருக்கா? இல்லை. போன வாரம் தடுப்பூசி ஏதாவது போட்டீங்களா? இல்லை. வெளியூருக்கு எங்க போனீங்களா? இல்லை. ஸோ கவலைப்படாதீங்க, சொல்றது வரும் வைரஸ் தான், டோன்ட் வரி. நான் இந்த பேராசிட்டமால் கொடுக்கணும். ஐ கிவன் த பிராண்ட் நேம் ஆல்சோ, பட் யூ கேன் புட் வாட் எவர் பிராண்ட் நேம். 8 சொட் கொடுக்கணும், 8 drops every 6 hours. ஸோ பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கு ப்ராப்ளமே கிடையாது. Even it doesn't need the internet connection. Once they download, whether traveling at house at 2 a.m., they just consult the chart. The bot is not reacting. I have fed the bot the data, but with AI, you can create such a lovely chat and you can pass it on to all your patients. Thank you. Okay, so that was a very rapid summary of what I can do. It can do so many things, but again, it's a lovely, lovely thing. I see no reason why we should not use, but please try, and you'll be amazed at the wonder of AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil Srinivasan sir. Actually, wonderful the way you use ChatGPT. The chatbot was excellent. Actually, I think a lot of questions will be there. We'll go to the questions in the end. So even I have a lot of questions on chatbots. we will discuss. So I'll thank you, sir. We'll go to the next session. That will be by I will be taking my next session. So I'll just share my slides. Okay. Okay, is my slide visible? Is my slide visible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Audible.
So, thank you. So, next 15 minutes, I'll just tell how I used AI in the last 1 week. So, I just took, because when the topic was given, I thought last 1 week, how all I have used AI in my day-to-day practice. Probably I will share with the IMA members and the audience. So, initially, yes, 2010 is the first time I heard something like AI, neural network, large language model, all these things heard. That time they said AI is going to replace doctors in 10 years. But in 2025, 15 years ahead, still we are still existing. I think no AI is replacing us. So AI is a tool which we can use so that we'll be a better doctors. I don't think AI is a tool that can replace us. That's what I firmly believe. So these are the various AI I use in my personal. Some paid AIs I'm using. ChatGPT probably 1 year I'm using. So I'm using the 5.0 version, and there is one more version ahead of that. That is a business model, but I'm using the 5.0 version, and Perplexity that comes free with Airtel. So any Airtel user will get this Perplexity as a free cost. It costs around 20,000 per year approximately. So if you are an Airtel user, you can get that Perplexity free of cost. Canva AI, initially I was so excited, I paid, but I stopped because I felt that AI is not so good, so I don't use. Some free AI tools which I day in, day out uses, I use Claude. For all my projects, research proposal, I use Claude. For publications and speaking to the paper, speaking to a scientific paper, analyzing, dissecting the science paper, any publications, I use SciSpace. Most of my PowerPoints, even this PowerPoint, I used Gamma AI, I'm using. Some of the Google Forms, sometimes I would like to take the survey, feedback survey, data collection, all these things, I use Formaster, which is which helps me to prepare the forms. So these are the common. So I use for communication, but day-to-day emails, WhatsApp, flyers, whatever I'm using, even for this flyer, whatever I've designed, all these things, I use AI. So it takes, I don't send it to any external agency for designing these flyers. It is so easy to use AI and design these flyers. And for my research documentations, data management, sample size calculation, I use AI. So these are the various aspects how I use AI. So communication, research, data management, and design and outreach. So most important for AI is the prompt. So as I said, AI is very adaptive. Okay, so if you ask what is the treatment for breast cancer, the response will be different. If you ask, I'm a medical oncologist, I'm treating a 50-year-old patient. So I need to give chemotherapy. The patient has diabetes, hypertension, and the patient is resource limited. Patient does not have money. So what will be your answer? The answer will be different. So ultimately, what you ask is what you get in AI. It is very important. That is called prompt. Okay, if you just type what is the solution for this, it will give an answer. But if you give more details to the AI, that is called prompt, it gives answer in a better way. That is, so generally we give the prompts in RTCO format. RTCO is roles. For example, what is the role of the AI? I am using an AI to analyze an NGS report, next generation sequencing report, for treating an oncology patient. So I need to tell that the role of this AI is to act like a molecular tumor board. Okay, what is the task? Analyze the NGS report. What is the context? I am a medical oncologist. I am treating a patient. I am sending you a report. How do I want the output? So if you give this as RTCO framework, you always get better results than when you ask just like that, I need an answer for this. So whenever you want asking a deep question, whenever you are asking a very difficult or scientific question, follow this prompt, tell what is the role of AI, tell what is the task for that AI, what is the context you are using, and what is the output, how is the output you want. If in this format you get, even for example, sir was telling one rash was there. You want to ask AI what is a rash. If you give the role, if you give clinical summary to that AI, a better output will always be we can get than just putting the image and asking what it is. So the prompt is very, very important whenever you are asking a question to an AI. So ChatGPT extensively, sir, has covered. You can see the image, that bamboo project, whatever I posted today in IMO, WhatsApp, that bamboo project of Indian Medical Association Tiruchirappalli is AI generated image. So I just gave some prompts. I generated this image and used this to share in the WhatsApp. So there are various ways ChatGPT. I feel ChatGPT is for creative content. Most of the creative content like flyers or WhatsApp post, you want to make the WhatsApp post more better so that people notice. All these things, ChatGPT is very good. So two things is what generation you are using, and you can personalize the ChatGPT. There will be a link called personalization. If you go and click that, you can personalize ChatGPT according to your needs. So if you go see your ChatGPT, that will be called personalization. You can always enter into it, give all the details how you want. And the output, whenever you type a question, the output will be different if you personalize it. So this is the Gamma AI. Even this PowerPoint, I use this Gamma AI as a AI tool. So it's a generative AI. You just abstract, you just give what you want. Okay, I just took 10 minutes what I want to share with all of you. I shared some of the images. In the end, it gives an PowerPoint, and from there I modified most of the presentation what I'm doing. So it's an excellent tool for preparing the PowerPoint presentation. It's a generative AI. The other AI I'm using is a Claude AI. Claude AI is very good for project proposal. You want to write a proposal, project proposal. For example, I want to see how artificial intelligence can help me to better define the treatment based on next generation sequencing in difficult oncology cases. This is what the study proposal. You just enter it, briefly write what is your aim, objectives, then it will give you a beautiful proposal. And it even it will give the literature background. Okay, if you tell I want all the referrals as a Vancouver style, it will give in Vancouver style. All these things are possible when you write a project proposal with Claude AI. It's a wonderful AI as far as the project proposal is concerned. SciSpace is a very good proposal to see what all the various literature evidence is there. For example, AI in oncology, you are doing a research. If you type it, all papers that is related to it, it will come. And the beauty of SciSpace is you can even speak to the paper. The PDF will be coming. You can even speak to the paper. You can type what is there in the paper. It will research and tell all the details, give the answers. So SciSpace is a good, whenever you are giving a publication or writing a publication, you want to research all the literature evidence. SciSpace is very good. TurboScribe is another one which I found recent, like last 1 month we are using extensively, where you load a YouTube or video into it, it gives the transcript, it gives a summary. For example, we are running a molecular tumor board every week. In molecular tumor board, that's a 2-hour session. At the end of the time, we want to give a summary of each case. All we do is we just cut each case and put in the TurboScribe. It gives beautiful summary, almost on par with any medical oncologist. So TurboScribe is another one which we are using day in, day out. And this is what recently, last 1 or 2 weeks, we have been using. It's a fantastic tool for surveys, feedback, data collection. It is something similar to Google Forms, but it is very easy to build. All we need to is give some abstracts. It will give it within 5-6 minutes. It will give you the forms to you so that the survey can be taken. The Comet AI recently Perplexity gave free of cost. It's a browser AM. You can speak to the website. It's a large website you have. You don't know how to search in those websites. All you need to do is go to this Comet browser, open the website, and just start speaking to the website. It's very easy. For example, if in my EMR, I open my EMR in this Comet, I can tell Padma Priya, this breast cancer patient, I want to know. It will give all the details of Padma Priya, breast cancer patient. It's a beautiful browser AI tool, which last 1 week we are using. And it comes free of cost if you are Airtel user. So you can try this out. And 11 Labs, I'm just playing this video. Today, a patient was there. I was giving a drug called pembrolizumab.
பெம்ப்ரோலிசுமாப் புற்றுநோய் எதிர்ப்பு சிகிச்சை. பெம்ப்ரோலிசுமாப் ஒரு புற்றுநோய் நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சிகிச்சையாகும். இது நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தியை தூண்டி புற்றுநோயை எதிர்த்து போராட உதவுகிறது. பெம்ப்ரோலிசுமாப் என்றால் என்ன? நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தி.
So this was done within 30 minutes. I was supposed to give a chemotherapy. We have some awareness pamphlets for the patients. But if I want to give AI-mediated videos to the patient, which will be more easy for them, they can see, they can hear about the drug, and ultimately they will come back to the counseling section with a better knowledge about the drug. So this takes only 30 minutes. I need to generate, I need to make a PPT, I need to make it in a video format. Then I use 11 Labs to make sure that AI voice is synthesized. Then finally, within 30 to 35 minutes, I will be able to give this video to the patient. Patient sees and comes back to me with a better knowledge of pembrolizumab, so that in counseling, they will be more aware of what the drug is. So it is a wonderful tool, 11 Labs. It is a free AI tool. Up to 30 minutes you can use for generating these videos. So these are the common, like whatever last 1 week, what are the common AIs I'm using day in, day out, I've said. Apart from that, there are many other AIs, but these are really good. What is most important is ChatGPT is good, but ChatGPT is not good for everything. Each AI has its own unique strength and weakness. So we need to understand which AI is good for what. So we need to try it out. We need to innovate in our clinical practice. Okay, some AIs you will spend so much time, but it will be waste of energy and time. Some AI will really transform our clinical practice. So it's very important the way it's exploding. Select what is good for us, innovate, integrate in our practice. Definitely after some point of time, it will make a huge difference in clinical practice. So as a doctor, we have our own strength. Okay, intuition is our strength. AI is more of a mathematical model, probability model. Definitely, when both of us together, definitely we'll be doing a great job. We'll be a better doctor than what we are when we are not using these AI tools. So in the end, definitely AI is not a competition for us. Definitely, it is another tool for us to be a better doctor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So any questions? probably we'll go to the end of the sessions to discuss about all these AIs. ChatGPT, sir has spoken. Other AIs, my own personal experience I've shared. We'll discuss more during the interactive sessions. Probably last will be by Dr. Ashraf Ali, sir. So he'll be speaking on the limitation. We all spoke about the good part of AI. There are some limitations also that exist along with the AI. We need to be very careful with those limitations. Remember, anytime before any text or images or video reaches AI generated images reaches the patient, it should be validated by the doctor. That is very, very important. All of us should make sure that we see line by line before it reaches the patient. That is very important. So over to Dr. Ashraf Ali sir, who will be speaking on the hallucinations and limitation of AI. Ashraf Ali sir, you are there?
So just logging in, sir.
Yes. Please. So Ashraf Ali sir is not new to our IMA member. He has been there with us for one of the CME sessions. He gave a very wonderful overview of AI some 3-4 months back. So he has been working on this AI for quite some time. Let's hear from him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me for this workshop.
Yes, sir. Over to you, Dr. Ashraf, please.
Yeah, my voice is clear, right?
Absolutely.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Audible.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir. So, so far we have seen how to use AI and what are all there, the updates, and we have to know what are the flaws that AI has. So beyond the hype, what it has, what are the limitations, what are the bias that can happen, and what is hallucinations. So in AI in healthcare, there are promise and prudence. So there are transformative potential. So AI improves the diagnostics that we have seen, and it personalizes the treatment, and it enhances the patient outcome. So now it is accelerating. So the globe wise, it is growing very fast. So the decision making support from the AI is coming out, and analytics and diagnostics are coming up. So now we have to know, what are the AI's limits, bias, and what are the errors that it can make. So when we know the advantages, we have to know the disadvantages that it has. So which will be, easy for us. If we know all the limits, then it will be easy for us to safely implement it. So there are data quality crisis. So it may not, represent the real patients, because if the data what we provide, how AI work is, we will feed the data, n number of data. So then from that data, it is going to give, right? So if we don't provide, complete data, or if a population, if for example, if we are going to treat a patient from Trichy and we are going to provide the data of the America or the Western country, then obviously, so there will be mismatch. So the output, the decision that it is going to give will not be appropriate. So we have to be very careful in, selecting the data. And so in Western countries, this regulatory maze is there. There are strict record keeping rules are there for, those who are using the AI. And so doctors are also, having some restriction, before going to the AI. So the trust is not that much there, just because uh, all the AIs are not, very clear that how it is working. So if AI, if we explain AI how it is working, so then it will be easy for the doctors to, catch up the gap. And where the magic breaks, so far we have seen so how AI is working, but there are so anybody knows what is hallucination? Can anybody say or type what is hallucination? so that so which is very very important and which is very basic, which is related to us very much, right? Hallucination, so which is not there.
Which is
So
not
is there
there.
anybody?
Perception,
Yeah.
perception, which is not there. Perception of a sound or perception of an image, which is not there.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So that is what as ChatGPT or any LLM, so it will not accept that it doesn't know. It will always say, "I know that." So it will never say that it will not, it doesn't know that part. So as far as Gemini is concerned, in the among the LLM, so it will say that I don't know. It started saying at some point, but still this hallucination, it gets carried away. It always says I know everything, and it will put up some stories. Even in its data, if it is not there, it will put up the story and it will say that and make the story and give some result. Okay, that is what the hallucination is. So, once the Chat GPT, now it is 5.0 has come. Now, when 4.0 was there, so Chat GPT invented ceftriaxone resistant rhinovirus. So, how can virus and antibacterial drug?
Antibiotic.
So, yeah, it's
Yes.
an antibiotic. So, it's all how the hallucination works. So, we cannot completely rely on the ChatGPT or any LLM. We have to always oversee what it is giving. And spectrum bias, so chest X-ray model trained on tuberculosis, it gave 41% false positive in asthma patient. So this can happen. So we cannot completely rely on. So this is the spectrum bias. And then label shift. So sepsis algorithm, which was made from the US data. So it gave more, alerts in the Indian NICU. So that is 2 to 3 times more alert. So this is which was unnecessary. With the data from the US, we cannot treat it. So our population, so it also differs, right? Even India, which we have more diversity, and each region, north, south, west, east, and also the urban area, village area, everything differs. Even in Tamil Nadu, there are many diversities are there. So according to the culture, according to the area, we have to be specifically select the data and then train the LLM model, whatever it is, and then we have to use it to our people. And spurious correlation. So skin lesion model uses ruler marker. So that predicted melanoma, which was it missed the melanoma diagnosis without the ruler. So these are all some of the things which AI flawed. So the key limitations are, so they lack the generalizability. So that is, so AI trained on small data sets, they may fail with different patient setting. And black box. So black box is, what black box is? So the AI works, the AI, ML, the machine learning and all, how it works is with the algorithm. So that it creates, how it creates the algorithm. So until we don't know how these complex algorithms are made, so it will be difficult for us to, as I was saying, so the trust will not be that clear. So that is what the black box is. Now the black box has been open. Now white box has come. That is XAI. XAI is explainable AI. So which explains, that is what the reasoning models have come. So it is better to use the reasoning model. Why it is, why the output is coming. Then data quality dependencies. So AI works best with quality data. If the data is not up to the mark, obviously the result will not be reliable. So then continuous update is required. We have to always update the medical knowledge, whatever we have to the AI, so that it gets updated and gives us exactly what we want. And understanding the bias. So data collection bias. So as I was saying, the demographic variability can play an important role. So white people versus black people, we cannot treat the same data set of white people to the black people, right? So that is what the data collection bias and algorithmic bias. So this is proxy variables. If we don't fill all the parameters exactly, then obviously the output will not be that good. And human bias, so the data labeling, we have to label exactly. For example, if you are having an X-ray, and if we don't, uh, while training the model, if you don't label it correctly, for example, if tuberculosis is there, if you miss any signs of tuberculosis in that X-ray, then it will also miss. So that is what the human bias, right? So data labeling. So biased AI decrease the clinical accuracy by 11%. So the bias is very, very important. So in melanoma detection, so this is lighter skin versus darker skin. So obviously there was a bias. And in chest X-ray in tuberculosis, there were 18% more false negative in underweight patients, that is malnourished patients. And ECG also showed various results of atrial fibrillation. So pulse oximetry, so which we were using, so that is showing hypoxemia in darker skin. So this is still, it is unresolved even now. So AI diagnosis accuracy. So the meta-analysis of 83 studies from 2018 to 23. So AI performed very poorly. So which was around 15 to 20% lesser than the non-expert physician, not expert physicians, non-expert physician. So this was a meta study, meta-analysis that was done during 5 years period. So improvement will happen with the AI if there is unbiased AI assistance. So if there is intentional biases there, then obviously the output will not be that good. So coming to hallucination, so which is when the models produce false or nonsensical outputs, so are becoming more common with serious risk and misleading consequences. So now all the LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, they all are working towards this hallucination. They all want to reduce the hallucination. So the baseline error, even in medical specialty, the large language model, they show around 8 to 20% hallucinations. So this is in medical specialties, and up to 79% in clinical trials. 79% is too high. And AI Scribe. Now there are many mobile apps are coming out. So with which they record all the audio, all the transcription. Then with the transcription, it gives the output. It gives the diagnosis, the investigation, treatment, all the suggestions it is giving. So with this AI Scribe, the problem is even if it misses, even while we have chat with the patients, we have all the body language. Now, other than the verbal cues, we will have the body language, or we'll be having little signs. So if A misses, the whole diagnosis, may mismatch, and that it will affect the treatment. So what are the clinical consequences? So there may be misdiagnosis, delayed treatment, inappropriate treatment recommendation, so spread of medical misinformation, and obviously we will lose the trust in the AI tool. So this is an example. So I got. So hallucination, how it happened. So when a prompt was given, 3-year-old boy, 39 degrees Celsius and maculopapular rash, cranky. So the AI gave answer is classic Kawasaki. So it immediately has to start the IVIG and aspirin. So whereas, so it doesn't meet the criteria. It doesn't go through all the Kawasaki criteria. So we, before taking any decision, clinical decision, we have to obviously be there with the loop. We have to check what it is giving, whether it is right or not. We have to check the criteria properly before moving with the AI. So the critical question that we have with the AI is, who owns the privacy issue, right? So who owns and controls patient data? Who is controlling the patient data now? So if it is going to be used for training AI system, so who owns then? Who is responsible? Who is going to control whether the patient, obviously, if the patient data is there, it is patients, right? If we are going to collect it, we are going to collect it, and we are going to give it to the LLM people who are handling it, right? So they are going to use it. So we have to be very, very careful in using the data. So there is privacy issue and liability. So if diagnosis goes wrong, treatment goes wrong, who bears responsibility? Whose responsibility is this? Can anybody say whose responsibility is this?
The healthcare providers.
Yeah, definitely we are responsible, because it will give any output, but we have to take the responsibility. We are, really, we have to take that decision before, um, the AI gives. So then transparency. So how much, the patient must know about AI involvement in their care. Obviously, if you are going to involve in any sort of study or any picture or anything from the patient, obviously you have to get consent before doing it. And regulatory challenges. So there is no specific healthcare guidelines, especially in India. So it is unclear accountability frameworks of for AI-related clinical errors, complex data governance, and the patient privacy concerns. So the regulatory framework, so this is US FDA. So it has on LLM. So it's LLM status. What are the various body has given regarding the LLM? So it is predetermined change control plan. So that is, so it can change. They can change the plan so that they don't have to go through all the framework again and again. So this is what FDA has given. Then in Europe, they have classified the LLM as medium risk. And in India, so this is Central Drug Board. So this one, so they have classified LLM as class B, and WHO has classified as class 1 to 3. So it depends on the LLM. So global regulatory body, first one is WHO, so which is there. Then European Union AI Act. So this is, they have classified into which they cannot use AI, and high risk, medium, low. So according to the risk, they will analyze the AI tool. Only then they will go through the whole framework. Only then they give license. And in India, actually, there is a responsible AI rule act has come in 2023, and in 24, digital AI act has come, but it is in the parliament. It has been not into effect till now. So it is yet to come. It is in the initial stage, but there are a lot of updates that are coming in AI every day, each and every day. Every LLM is coming up with big updates. So the real world case AI bias in low resource setting. So there will be data diversity crisis. So Western population show 30 to 40% reduced accuracy when applied to Indian patients. Okay, so this diversity is there, data diversity is there, and population specific crisis. So AI diagnostic tools, they frequently miss atypical tuberculosis presentation, which is common in malnourished population, as we have seen this.
Sir,
And there are,
one more minute, sir, please. Thank you.
okay. So infrastructure challenges. So there are many infrastructure challenges in the Indian setup. So from all the equipments we have to have in the internet connectivity. And so in conclusion, what we can do is, so to reduce all this limits, bias and hallucination, so we have to gather high quality data from all the groups, not from one group, from all the groups. And transparency, obviously, the uh, clinicians must know how to use it. And so we have to use the higher model, so which shows more transparency. And always we doctors have to be there in the loop of AI. The final decision has to be made by us. And local adaptation, so we have to obviously customize the AI what we are going to use according to our local need, according to our area, to our culture. So key takeaway. So in the current situation, there are around till now, so 950 devices had been approved by FDA, and so the adaptation. So overall, 65%, AI tools has been adopted for diagnosis and admin task, and even the funding. So around $30 billion. So this is in India, so which is contributing to the nation GDP. And reality check is AI is already delivering real clinical results. So the question is no longer if, but how to implement the AI safely. And we know that bias and hallucinations are major risks, and we have to know how to mitigate it. Regulations are evolving quickly worldwide. So the question is no longer whether AI will transform, so AI will transform the healthcare, but how we deploy it safely and effectively for our patients. Thank you. So I have to rush as the only 10 minutes was given. Thank you, sir. Any questions will be taken. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ashrav sir. Very nicely you put the limitations. Like it's not all are rosy. Actually, there are some issues are there. Yeah, I do agree. As sir said, most important thing is the final decision maker should be the doctor. There is no doubt at all. And unless we are well versed with what is latest and we know what we are dealing with, it will be very difficult to see whether the AI is giving false claims or AI is good enough to make a diagnosis. The second thing is what Ashraf Ali sir said. In my own last 1 year, I've been using one thing that really makes a difference is asking the AI to give the references. So as I said, you can always go to the personalization and tell how the output should be. So whenever an output comes from the AI, you can always ask the AI how this output has been made. For example, a diagnosis is done. Probably on what basis this diagnosis went, what are the references? And always is good practice for us to go back and check those references. You'll be so much surprised that whatever the reference it will be quoting, it will be totally unrelated. That also happens. So it will help us to identify that probably there is a hallucination and you should not use the output or you should rerun with a different prompt. So it's very important whenever AI is used for clinical decision, it's important that we ask for the references and we go back and check the references because AI is taking all these data from somewhere. And if the source data we ask the AI to give, you can always go to the source data and check whether the claims are correct or not. That really helps in many of the situations like this. Thank you, Ashraf Ali sir. Thank you very much. So the floor is open for questions. So anybody want to ask any questions, probably unmute and you can ask the questions.
I thought, Arun, let Niremati madam also ask all those quick questions and then we'll take up the question.
Fine.
Ma'am, your questions are yours.
Yeah. I'm just sharing my screen. I've just made a voiceover for this. So I thought it would be interesting for the AI to ask the questions.
Can everyone learn AI, or is it only for those with a technical background? May I ask Dr. Sunil to respond to this?
Thank you, Computer G. Thank you, AIG. Thank you. So yeah, I think anybody, teenagers are using AI left and right, and many of them become millionaires. So anybody can use AI. It is not you don't need any specialized knowledge. All you need to know how to talk to the computer. It's like a new language. The moment you learn, you are an AI expert. Thank you.
Is it possible to learn AI even without prior computer or coding knowledge? May I request Dr. Arun to share his thoughts?
Yeah,
How long does it usually?
Yeah, that is what is amazing actually. So coding is not required. Python is not required. It's a large language model. Okay, so there is a difference between machine learning and large language model. Large language model is something like the way you are speaking to the humans, the response also will be coming like the way the human expresses back. It's like talking to somebody. That's how the present LLM is. So that is a difference from the machine learning which was there before. So large language model is a subgroup of machine learning where like similar to human, how you are asking and getting back the question it is. So no need for any coding or Python or nothing is required. Just ask the question, the answer will come. So no coding is required.
How long does it usually take for a person to understand and start using AI? Dr. Ashraf, may I invite you to answer this?
Thank you, A. So it all depends on person, and it all depends on your usage for what you are going to use AI. If you are just going to use only LLM, it will take some days to a week to learn. But if you want to, learn all the things, then obviously it will take some month. There are many courses, free courses available. I'll suggest one course. If you want to learn, going, very, very deep. So from coding, I'm saying coding point of view. So there is S50 from Harvard University. It's available in the net now. Live, sessions are going on, which is completely free. If you want certificate, then you have to pay a huge sum. Otherwise, it is completely free. If anybody is interested in learning coding, go for this course. Thank you.
Does learning or using AI require a big financial investment? Dr. Sunil, could you respond to this?
Yes, Computer G. No investment required. But most of the AI are the initial starters are free, but unfortunately you don't get many features using the free. So I would suggest you go to the initial version. The pro version is cost about 2,000 a month. It is fully worth paying that. You get so many added features. Thank you.
Will AI truly help reduce workload for health professionals, or will it add to it? May I ask Dr. Arun to comment on this?
Absolutely. So when Airtel announced that Perplexity is free for all Airtel users, first thing we did is all the front desk managers, nurses, we installed Perplexity. We had a technical team. We installed Perplexity in all the nurses and front desk managers' mobile, and we trained them because it was free of cost. So we trained how to use Perplexity. Now getting the summaries, transcribing from the image format to the word format, grammar check, all these things are easier and it has decreased the workload. Summary also, so much times they used to go and come. I will do one correction, they will go again some correction. So much time waste will be there. All these things has come down once the friend has started using the Perplexity. Yes, definitely it's useful. And remember, we are having a free AI along with the Airtel. Any Airtel users in among IMA members, please use it. It's fantastic. Particularly, voice to text is very good here. More than ChatGPT, Perplexity, voice to text and accuracy is very good in Perplexity. That's what I found. So it is very useful to install and train our frontline workers.
On this,
can AI be applied not just in professional practice but also in day-to-day family life? Dr. Ashraf, May I invite you to share your view?
Yeah, obviously we can apply for everything. So even for family life, even if you're going to plan for any vacation, you can ask it to do. It will completely give you the itinerary, and even you can book everything if you have deeper knowledge with the agent. You can book it, and even for tutoring your kids, you can make use of it. If you want to cook, it will give you recipe. If you just click what are the ingredients you have and put it in the AI in the LLM, then it will obviously give the dishes how to do all the recipes. And also you can use it for diet chat, or if you are going to, for if you're a fitness freak, you can make use of it. So for everything, so each and everything what we do, we can always involve AI.
Your view.
Can AI play a role in supporting better decision making for health practitioners? Dr. Sunil, could you share your perspective?
Yeah, as I presented during my presentation, it not only helps me to narrow down my diagnosis, also it will give so much differential diagnosis. Ultimately, as Dr. Arun was pointing out, we are the boss. Even if I train my RPA, reliable personal assistant, for another 20 years, I'll never allow her to treat my patient. Similarly, I can use AI, but I am the final boss. But it'll help me find out what I have missed, or in terms of follow-up, in terms of diagnosis, differentials. So I think it's a great, great tool, and certainly your practice will be much better if you use AI. Thank you.
Is AI always reliable, or should its outputs be used cautiously? May I request Dr. Arun to respond to this?
uh, always reliable. I think in medicine, its answer is no. Never always is always. In even MCQs, we know always comes, then that is wrong. Okay, so even here it is wrong. So always it's never true. As I said, always whenever a decision comes from AI, go to the source data. That is very important. Okay, when you give the prompt, tell that how you are giving the output, on what basis you are giving the output. It will give all the references. Okay, how much research paper based on it, it has come to the decision, it will give. It is our role to go and check those publications, those meta-analysis before accepting the AI decisions. So we need to go check the source data before we accept the AI output. So we cannot take it as it is. We are doctors. That's where we are. Otherwise, what is the difference between we and the patients? So patient also is going to do the same thing. So now definitely patient is a computer science engineer will be better than us in handling this ChatGPT. So what is the difference between him and us? Okay, so we can go and check the source data. We know what is the source data. We can read the publication, but the patient who is an engineer cannot do that. So that is where the difference is between we and the patient. That's how it's going to be from now on. That's what I feel.
Can AI help in saving costs, either in healthcare practice or in daily life? Dr. Ashraf, may I ask you to answer this?
Yes, definitely, but definitely it will save our money. So for us, time is money. So it saves lot of time. So if you start using AI, obviously it will save your time, and that itself will, save the money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nerimadhi ma'am. I think we'll directly go to the floor. I think first question is chatbot creation. I think even I asked. So Sunil sir, question is to you from the chat.
Yeah.
So can you explain about the chatbot creation?
Chatbot has been my real passion for a long, long time, because all the calls I get from parents, they're worried about fever or cough or whatever. And so many questions I have to keep on asking them till I can determine whether that is serious or not. I thought this can be easily automated by chatbot. So if you ask your chat GPT, it will create your chatbot. Only thing it takes a lot, the learning curve is very steep. So initially it took me 15 days to create one chatbot, which was for fever. And then I became better at it. So what it basically depends on your experience, on your input. How do you frame the questions? You have to have some idea of the stepwise presentation of all the symptoms. Exactly what we do in practice. So I create a chatbot, and then I asked my friend Dr. Meghanathan, who's worked as a pediatrician in Kaveri. He is one of the experts in AI. So I asked him, "Is it good?" He said, "It's good enough for even for junior doctors." So I was quite thrilled about it, because this is what we tell them, or when a patient complains over the phone or directly. These are the questions you should ask. So after that, I have created more chatbots for vomiting and for loose motions, even for home safety. Uh, the knowledge of this chatbot, I give it. That doesn't give, but the creation is by AI. Soon, what we can do, we can link the chatbots to actual real-time LLM, and then we get actual information. But for the timing, this is good enough for parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
May
Thank
I
you.
add?
So we will have a workshop. So where
May I add?
Yes,
yes,
please.
Arun,
yes, sir.
Actually, yeah. So chatbot creation is now it is very simple. So there is custom GPT in ChatGPT. Actually, we have to subscribe for it. Even now it is around 399 only. We can use ChatGPT Go. So with that we can, if you want to create any chatbot, so you just type, I want to create, a chatbot on this. So give me the instruction. What are the instructions that I have to fill in? So it will give everything. It will give. You just have to go through manually and go through line by line and add and edit those things. And just there are instruction boxes there. Just give the instruction. And if you have any base, any file that if you're having and if you want it to follow, you just load it up. So this is in ChatGPT, which is you have to pay. But in Gemini, there is the same ChatGPT. This version is available as GEM. Now Gemini is available free. Gemini Pro is available free for college students who are above 18 years of age, that you all know, I believe. So there also you can use, and in Perplexity it is coming as space. So now this chat bot is, we can use it left and right, which is freely available. We can create n number of, chatbots. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shabli sir. So chatbot can be done easily. Probably one demo video we'll share with all of you, all the members, how it was done. So we'll share a live demo video so that it will be easy for you to understand.
Arun,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Ashraf, only I just want to know whether should you get in case of a difficult case, you want to use the artificial intelligence, should you take the patient concern? Will there be any legal implications on all this? Just like that, I just want to know, because tomorrow later we said I use the artificial intelligence, or this is how I was directed by the artificial intelligence. I don't know whether it will hold water in the court. I'm just asking you.
Yes,
legal
sir.
implications.
I think limitations in legal Ashraf Ali sir. Sir, would you like to respond to this question, sir?
Yeah, but obviously we have to take concern, sir. End of the day, we are responsible. So, like even when we take photograph and publish somewhere, we used to, cover the eyes. Like that, if you're going to use their image or their data, obviously, if you take concern from them, then obviously there will not be any litigation, sir.
Okay.
Sir, one thing is whatever data we are loading, it will be used for them to learn. That's how it is made. That's how the ChatGPT evolves. But if you want to put a sensitive data like bank statements, you want to put your EMR. For example, one of the things where I use these large language model is to, like, I have some 10,000 patients. So 10,000 patients to analyze and give me output I would like to have. But these data, I don't want them to use it for their training. There is always called temporary chat. It will be in the right side in ChatGPT. If you press that, it will be temporary chat. They won't be using our data for learning. So any critical information, bank details, EMR data analysis, all these things, you can always go for temporary chat. That is something which they cannot use for to learn from our data. That is one thing. And it is must that you need to de-identify the case whenever you are putting into the ChatGPT. and asking for output. It is must. But as far as any binding legal implication as far as is now, I don't think at present it's not there, but we don't know. We don't know how things are going to be in future. Okay, so if somebody is putting their case and this is already put by somebody else in this particular part, and whether they can come and sue us, we don't know. So it's always better to be safe. As far as now, present scenario, it's not very strong. So it is it's same like whenever you put in public or WhatsApp, you need to like you need to mask the patient's face and put. You need to do that even you put into the AI. Any other questions? Okay. Sunil sir, you want to have the last word so that we can close it, sir?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm surprised that so many attendees were there. When I started, I was wondering how many are going to come, but we had about 35 participants. It's an amazing thing. I just want to add, this is only the beginning, and we are trying to have a hands-on workshop. I've already talked to the directors of Kaveri Hospital, Dr. Manimanan or Dr. Sengutuan. Probably in mid-November, somewhere in mid-November, we have a skill lab with about 50 terminals. So hopefully we can have a hands-on experience of AI. So please, you can give Arun, they can give your names to Arun, and by somewhere mid-November, we'll have the workshop on AI. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sunil Srinivasan sir. Thank you, Ashraf Ali sir. Thank you, Naremati ma'am. And thanks to all the participants who stayed for the past 1.5 hours. As we said, it's evolving. I think day in, day out, we are learning a lot. And innovation is not only about antibiotics and devices. That's what I feel. Innovation is small changes we make in our day-to-day clinical practice, and how much different it makes to our overall outcome. So that is also innovation. AI is one of the tool with which a lot of innovation can happen in our clinical practice. That's what I personally feel. Every day, some new thought comes for me how to use this AI so that we can make a difference to a patient. So I think we need to have a better understanding about this tool. And if we have a better understanding, definitely we can make a huge difference for the patients. So with that, I thank all of you for joining. Good night. See you in the workshop. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Arun.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very nice
Thank you.
program.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you. Thank you, Sunil, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.